Just a quick update video before I head off to Tennessee for Hive Life. As you can see, winter's has been here for a long while, since October sometime. It's just past noon right now, so that's the noon sun just on the horizon. Days are finally getting a bit longer. We've had not too much snow. There's about 1.5 feet, 2 feet in some places, but it's been a steady cold. We've had probably a week and a bit of -40 type weather. Right now it's about -27. So that's what, -16 Fahrenheit. All 4 hives are doing well. Or I'd say relatively well. 3 for sure. 1 is, I think it's just low in the colony. As you can see, I have my my entrance protectors, a piece of plywood lying down. I guess just a word of note. I see a lot of folks recovering from the deep cold that you guys got down south. But then I look at the hives and I see cracked seams everywhere, big open vents on top, no wind protection. And I guess if you do lose bees to starvation, small clusters, and all that type of stuff, you really need to plug those seams up, especially folks that keep checking to see if the bees have enough feed or not, because in cold weather they can't repropolize it. So I'd say the reason I use bubble foil wrap, you can't really see it there, so behind this blue foam here, there's bubble foil wrap around all 4 colonies, and it's all taped to the top. And that there is wind protection, so it prevents any wind from coming into contact with the main bodies of the hives. So what that does is it actually slows down heat transfer. So you don't need to insulate. So the point of those tar paper, or really that, if you want solar heat, up here I don't want solar heat because I want a nice steady temperature. I don't want the bees to have warmer days than nights. I just want them to be steady. But if even down south, technically you could just use cardboard, some type of fabric or material that you can put around your colony. It doesn't have to be insulated, but the key is wind protection along those hive bodies. So especially if you've made your own boxes and you're not the best carpenter and there's a lot of uneven seams, because it makes a difference. And so I guess, and I'll show you. So like I said, went down to -48, 49 here, and that's without the wind. And I'd say these 3 colonies here, I'll show you some temperature profiles, and you'll see how flat they are and how smooth the curves are, despite the temperature dropping to -40, 50 outside, and the inside temperature being like 16 Celsius. So there's like a 60-degree difference from inside to outside, and it's flat. They're humming. I do have a few pictures of, I guess I did check earlier in the season for hive mortality. So this one here has a bit more than the other ones. Nothing too crazy that I'm worrying about, considering we had really cold. You see the hoarfrost there. And then I'll just check over here. And you can see these 2 here don't have much for dead bees, which is good. This colony here, the cluster is, my guess is it's smaller. It was a late season requeen, so cluster small. It's still doing fine. But based on the sensors, if I go here, you can see the side here. So the cluster is hugging the side of the box there against this one here. These 2 here have decent sized clusters, and the 3 here have decent temperature. So these 2 clusters are higher up in the colony. But yeah, and that's the thing with winter temperatures. The cluster, if it's kind of small. Sorry, if the cluster is really tight, it won't release much heat, so they're really hard to detect an accurate picture. You'll notice on these two here, you'll see this squiggly line. So that's the sensor in the middle of the cluster. So you can see how the bees are actually, and then there's like micro heating events. So those are, that's just the heater bees and the bees heating up inside the cluster. And then the smooth line is towards the outside of the cluster or just off of it. So that's conductive radiative type heat signature, so it's nice and smooth. But no, overall it's good. So like I said, I'm heading off to Hive Live, and like I said, or Hive Life I should say. It'll be much warmer over there than here, so it'll be a nice change. I'll be doing a talk on observations, hive observations, so you can see how even in winter there's things you can look at. So hoarfrost, number of dead bees out front. You can listen to the colony. Don't give it a tap because it'll activate the bees. The key is keep them calm. Don't disturb them in winter. The more you disturb them, the more you're stressing them out. So that'll be the first talk. It'll be on pretty much spring to winter type observations you can do from outside and what it can tell you about what's going on inside, and some observation inside. And the second talk will be my hive thermodynamics talk, and just a couple of emphases there around making sure those seams are sealed regardless if you insulate or not. Consider top insulation year round, because it'll help you in the summer. It'll help reduce the moisture load, especially during honey season, because especially if it's hot and muggy, the bees will try evaporative cooling, but once the humidity gets to a certain point, it's not effective. So they'll be fanning, they'll be respirating inside. So it's pretty much a losing battle. So the more you protect your colonies from the heat, and all it takes is about 2 inches of styrofoam in your inner cover and a bit of shade, if that's what you like. I like full sun. I don't have the same winter, or same summer, but it because full sun helps eliminate some pest issues too. So, anyways, I look forward to seeing most of you or all of you. I don't think I'll know anybody in person there, but it'll be great to meet people for the first time. And let's talk bees for a couple of days. That'd be fun. Well, I'm gonna go enjoy my winter paradise, and then we'll go from there. Cheers. One last little bit here. These are my two control hives. So I've got a poly hive here and then a wooden colony. Poly sensors, they went down a bit there when it got really, really cold, but still alive. Batteries are good. Still measuring in this one, but in the wood one, sensors, the batteries died. It just got too cold and the sensors froze. And again, I'll show you on the chart there, but the slope of that temperature line and the difference, that's the difference with insulation. So you can see this one here is just snow and a basic poly, no extra insulation. That one's just a straight wood colony. So the properties of my setup here would be it'd probably be double what the poly can do here. And it's about 10 times I get thermal properties, so the insulation properties of this setup versus this setup is at least 10 to 20 times, especially if you push the colonies together. And you can see how my sides here, I just stuffed them with styrofoam. So there's like 1.5 inches, so 3, 9, There's 11 inches of styrofoam here, so at R10, is it R5? R5 per inch. So it's the side walls here are pretty good, and there's an extra 2 inch in the back there, and an extra 1.5 inch in the front with the bubble foil wrap. So these colonies are comfy. Cheers.